The finals just got a brand new leaderboard. We also have some developer updates around future cosmetics, as well as the current patch and some dev notes. Additionally, we also have that player feedback around the new game mode as well as the patch itself. We have some currently bugged challenges and their fixes, as well as a whole bunch more. What's up world, it's Utopia back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things the final. Okay, so first up we did have that new leaderboard launched, and that was specifically for the terminal attack. So there is this leaderboard here, and that is again specifically just for that mode. This time it has many different stats like games won, rounds won, total rounds, elimination, and even the score. So a lot more stats for this one specifically compared to some other leaderboards that we've had previously. Now again, we don't have any community challenges as of yet, but I assume that we're probably going to get some, especially since they launched this new leaderboard, which are also now using the full Embark ID plus the numbers. And if you haven't noticed already, those full Embark ID and numbers are now on the scoreboard or the leaderboard within the game itself. So that way, if you are submitting a new report via the video player or the video play method, just make sure that you showcase the leaderboards or the scoreboard within the game itself that will actually have their Embark ID. As of currently, the only way to submit that player report is to also have their full Embark ID. So make sure you are recording both that, the leaderboard, scoreboard, and whatever's going on in game when you do file that and make that report. Again, that is via the Discord and the video report channel, which is that brand new support system that they just launched a few days ago. Now currently with the new circuit, there are some new challenges. However, currently players are having some issues actually completing those challenges, or at least receiving the reward from that completed challenge. This seems to be happening with various items, including the emote and the ending reward, which is that sweatshirt. However, the reason for this is you will need to actually complete 14 games as opposed to what it currently says, which is just 10 games in total. So you will need to do 4 more games additionally to that with the terminal attack. Some players have been able to just relog and then they're shown up. However, I do believe you will need to play 14 games as opposed to 10. And as someone mentioned here, that Oscar did mention this during the community live stream, that you have to play 14. It's currently a bug that developers know about. I'm sure that will either be adjusted via down to 10 or they will display it as 14. Again, I probably assume they're going to adjust it down to 10. However, currently you will need to play 14 games if you do want that sweatshirt and to complete all those challenges there. We did have some further developer updates with some future cosmetics. Again, we do have Embark Rob back, giving us a lot of details on future patches, as well as even some future cosmetics that we might be seeing. Now, people have been requesting this like crazy, but they've wanted a frog onesie. So there is now a Reach the Finals frog onesie page. If you head over to this and they reach 1,000 signatures, they will make the frog onesie and put it in the store. And even the reply here from Embark Rob replying to someone else asking if they needed 1,000 signees. He went on here to say he told Essie and Fungus, their art director and creative director, that if 1,000 people ask for the onesie, they will be able to build it, or they will build it. And again, they will put that in the store. I'll link down to the page down below, although you can reach it yourself if you want. If you just head to the Reach the Finals website and then head to the bottom right corner, clicking on the frog, you'll have to fill out a Google form and then put different details there, including your Embark ID and a message. The last update here from Masterfish was about 5 hours ago, and they were at 33% signed. So I assume it's quite a lot because originally it was at 10% 9 hours ago. Within 4 hours, they got up to 33%. So it seems like they will reach that goal and eventually get the frog onesie in the store. Again, this might take some time as they do need time to build those assets, which if we coincide that message here with what Rob said earlier, this was in a reply to somebody asking about the Battle Pass pages and the additional Battle Pass stuff if it was added last minute. However, Rob went on here to say that it's not a last minute thing and it takes some quite time to do those assets, to be honest. During Season 1, there were a lot of people who finished their Premium Battle Pass, talked about if they could add a couple bonus pages to Season 2. They started on them about 3 to 4 weeks ago, and those just got published with the recent update. So as you can see, to make those assets, it's going to be about 3 to 4 weeks, although they did build 4 of those different ones, so maybe it's a little bit less with the onesie. But that does kind of give us an idea on how long it does take to make these assets, or how long they take to at least make them, and at least publish them in the game, either in the store, whether it's a circuit challenge, or other via methods like the Battle Pass. One last thing here from Rob is him talking about the new patch stuff. Where again, of course, they do talk about this being their biggest update ever, which yeah, with the patch notes, it was quite large. However, he went on here to talk about a new potential spray that we might be getting. Again, not too sure if this is going to be in the store or if they're going to add this to an additional Battle Pass pages. I assume not, since we're more than halfway through the season. I doubt they're probably going to add anything more to the Battle Pass. Now, this is also within the Easter egg section, so we might be seeing this with some Easter egg stuff. That could be a potential for unlocking this Easter egg specifically, or unlocking different Easter eggs. So we might actually see rewards that are tied to the different Easter eggs. Moving on though, we do have that community and player feedback. We have had a ton of people talk about the health bar changes, and they want different options for it. Of course, I think this pertains to the UI changes. What they did is they made it so that it scales to your monitor size or your TV size. So currently a lot of the UI stuff does actually scale with that, and that's probably why you're seeing the slight change there, or the significant change depending on how big or how small your monitor is. A lot of people are saying it's really hard to tell, especially during mid-fights. Also, the gadget stuff still has the same health bars from previously, so they don't actually match up there. So the turret and things of that nature will actually have the same health bar from before with the UI fixes. So we'll have to wait and see if that's a bug there, or if they didn't mean to adjust those entirely. Again, this seems to go along with the new ping system, which I do like the new smaller pings. However, the new smaller health bars I am not maybe much of a fan of. Also, it's to note that they are doing a new capital name system. Some people do like the change. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully they add an option for it to at least signify both different sections there, as those two camps are pretty strong about not liking it and liking it, so I hope they do add that option to change those things. Seems like people are really enjoying this patch so far. A lot of people are enjoying the new mode as well, other than people leaving out early, which if you do leave out early, you can actually reconnect into the match, or at least will forcibly reconnect you to the match. So someone would have to alt F4 their game and then not play for that entire time. So at least there's a system there to kind of force players back into the match itself. Also, people kind of feel the map is a little bit too large for the game mode itself, which I do think they should maybe section it off a little bit smaller, so that the way there is a little bit more play within that, as the maps do kind of feel a bit big with the game mode, especially with things not switching or changing. It has only been a day, so we'll have to see on how this mode does fare overall. Again, they've noted this as being an LTM or a limited time mode, so we'll have to wait and see if they actually do keep it around. I'm guessing it will be mostly dependent on how much and how many people are actually playing the mode. We'll have to wait and see on everything. I'm generally curious on how you guys like the new mode, if you've played it, if you've given it a shot, or if it's what you exclusively play or are not going to play anymore, as I'm sure that type of feedback will be very valuable for Embark in the future. We also have a few last minute mentionables here, like this variation of the Las Vegas map being brought up again. So there used to be a tripwires and turrets variation of the Las Vegas map. However, this was since removed with patch 1.6. Seems like most people agree that they didn't like this map and it was just a little too much for it, and it just made the map feel very standard issue. Some people think that it will return for the terminal attack mode, which I think eventually they might bring it back with some few changes and nerfs, which again, something like terminal attack definitely could use in variation, I feel like, for right now. I think that game mode is going to need a lot of adjustments there, so we'll hopefully see those in the coming future. A lot of people think it needs the final down cam, which I do agree overall, especially for that mode, and just in general, we do need those cams. Another last minute mentionable here is someone coming up with the concept for the masteries, which I think could be pretty cool with these sponsorships, and I think they should do more with that once a lot of the sponsorships are out and about. Again, I think we'll get 2 for each season, or we'll get a few more with each season coming up. So hopefully they do more with the sponsorships overall, as I really feel like that part is kind of lacking in the game currently. There's a ton of lore behind them, but I feel like the cosmetics and things like that aren't really getting touched upon, or at least the overall, or at least the unlocks through the sponsorships aren't really being taken advantage of. Of course, we do have that circuit system and these circuit stages, but I do think they could do a little bit more with the sponsorships overall. That does cover for this video. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, and until the next one, deuces.